This one was a bit of a revelation for me. I read Trick Mirror by Jia Tolentino in 2002. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and I wrote this about it after reading. I loved this book. I've always enjoyed these types of vignettes, and this book reads like David Foster Wallace or Chuck Klosterman to me. The fact that I only have these men to relate to Jia Tolentino's style and format here shows my limited exposure to diverse essayists. I think what had attracted me to those others was that they represented a point of view that was coming from my similar frame of reference with a wildly creative and extremely intelligent elaboration. Reading Tolentino adds a new aspect to my appreciation of the genre, with a different perspective layered on top of that same creativity and intelligence. After this, I'd read anything she puts out. Not all the chapters were page turners for me, but her intimate takes on social media, reality TV, religion, psychedelics, and marriage hit me profoundly. I'll be recommending this one to everyone and sharing the book directly with some of the women in my life. I once read a review on Goodreads that was pointing at men in particular and saying that they saw so many men with long lists of Goodreads reviews with very few female authors. And so I've always been very conscious and aware of the gender of the authors that I'm reading and the artists that I'm trying to take part in. The thing that was interesting when I read this is that I found that in this genre particular, in this sort of essayist, this short story, this personal story piece, that I had only read men, or that the only pieces that I was extremely familiar with were those from men. So that was awesome about reading this, because I love short stories, and I want to hear the short stories and perspectives of everyone. There's new books that are on my list later down the line that are a result of me having this revelation in 2022. Her voice is very evident in her writing, and I loved that. I was not aware of the reality TV show that she was on. I looked it up. I think it's something like Girls vs. Boys. It's like a young person reality show. So I hadn't heard of that, but her talk about all those things that I mentioned in there, the religion, the psychedelics, the marriage, like she has great takes on all these things. And while I mentioned that some of them were work, the bulk of this book is really fantastic. And if you like essays, if you like essayists, if you like short stories like this, in the style of The New Yorker, where she worked for a while, I think you will really like this book and anything that Jia Tolentino is putting out. So this one is one that definitely should be shared, and not just with women, with everyone, because Tolentino's very skilled and she has a very interesting voice, and everyone should check it out and see what she has to say, especially if you're interested in those topics. This one was Trick Mirror by Jia Tolentino. I read it in 2022. I give it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Till next.